This CNN podcast is sponsored by the personal advisors of Ameriprise Financial. Get to what's next.
Welcome to the podcast. In this version, we talk to our viewers about their feelings on the 5-year anniversary of the Iraq War. Charles in Missouri takes the long view, though. I was and still am a supporter of the Iraq War. Is it worth it? We will only know after historians have looked back. Also, I'm going to take you behind the scenes for a secret impression that Bob does about the prostitute linked to the Elliot Spitzer downfall.
I always knew she was a hooer.
More of that, and your viewer emails, of course.
This one's from Tom in Chicago. With the start of Dancing with the Stars and Robin's past dancing prowess well documented, why didn't she compete?
Back in the CNN atrium now, do you remember what was going on in your life, say about 5 years ago? Well, you probably remember if I told you it was the start of the Iraq War. I remember being in a hotel room in New Orleans watching this speech from the president.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
So then I hightailed it back to Atlanta for the next morning's coverage. Today, when we did the 5-year anniversary, I asked the producers, let's try to come up with some of the old tape that makes us remember what it was like to be there then. And this is what we aired.
The pictures you're seeing are absolutely phenomenal. These are live pictures of the 7th Cavalry racing across the deserts in southern Iraq.
You know, another big moment, remember the dramatic rescue of former POW Jessica Lynch in April of 2003. We're remembering these today because today marks the 5-year anniversary of the start of the Iraq War. This is actually one of the Humvees that some of our CNN crews used during those first days of the war. You can come and see it in the CNN atrium. This alone was a stand-alone broadcast unit. See the white dish up there? So that allowed them to transmit all of the pictures that they were shooting and get to us live. Now, 5 years later, our viewers have really strong opinions now about what they think about the Iraq War. Bill from Georgia says, as long as American history is recorded accurately, the Iraq War will be known as Bush's big blunder, the totally misguided and horribly costly ego trip of a substandard president. Kurt in Kentucky emailed saying that as a Vietnam vet, I have to say that we need to be there. We as American citizens are showing our true colors. When the going gets tough, we want to quit. Let's finish for a change. Wise up, America. Well, Debbie in Tennessee, one of your fellow viewers, emails, I think the military has done all it can do. They can't fix the Middle East. Just think what that $600 billion could have done here for Americans. Ken in Florida, one of your fellow viewers, writes in saying, yes, it is worth it. Sorry that we lose soldiers to the war, but do we want any more 9/11s? Terrorism has to be fought to be a free country. I don't know how prone your area is to a tornado, but right here at CNN Center in the middle of Atlanta, we were hit with a tornado a few days ago. You can still see some of the damage. They're trying to collect stuff. Over here, they're getting ready to collect water because in a few hours it's going to rain. They're even going to have guys with sub pumps up on the roof. Apparently, they're afraid of some more water damage. We're still getting in tape, crazy tape, from security camera videos like this one.
This is a carriage horse that was spooked by the storms on Friday night. It just breaks free and lets loose through the streets of Atlanta. This was during the actual tornado itself. Unbelievable. Read some reports the horse is okay. They found him just a couple blocks down the road.
Can you believe that one of our senior riders was at the top of this building when the tornado ripped right past the window? This is Devin, a senior rider on our team, and she was in a high-rise on the 73rd floor when the storm hit. What did you see?
I saw huge black pieces of debris just swirling around by the window. That's the last thing I saw before I grabbed my jacket and my bag. Headed for the emergency
You
stairs.
booked?
Yeah.
Did you had to run down 70 flights of stairs?
Yeah, 70 flights.
Did you actually see the cloud, the funnel cloud?
Yeah, I did. That's the last thing I saw before I headed for the stairs.
So I wanted to ask Bob, for your sake, some of the common misperceptions that people have about getting ready for a tornado.
Yeah, biggest one so far that I've heard so far is a tornado can't hit a major city downtown.
Doesn't feel like it, but it did.
Just nailed Atlanta. Fort Worth has gotten hit. Nashville's gotten nailed. So is Miami. So that obviously was blown out of the water. Number two, they always say open up your windows because you know you got to even out the pressure.
I always thought that your house would explode if you don't open up the windows in a tornado.
The house explodes because a tornado hits it. Don't waste the time, do it. Just get cover. If you see a tornado, take cover. Don't waste the time.
What if you're in a car?
Oh, don't get out of the car, because a car is just like a big tin can. A tornado can pick it up and crush it like a xylophone. You don't want to be inside of that. You're better in a ditch.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Bobby, go home.
You got it.
Have you noticed something a tiny bit different on our air? Watch.
This weather's brought to you by Residence Inns by Marriott, and I want to show you where the severe weather is located for the morning and then again for the afternoon.
Did you get that? We had an on-air sponsorship that Bob actually had to mention. Now, you would not believe how this thing had to pass muster. There are standards and practices issues. We need to be objective, so we can't look like the product placement newscast like this. Good morning, I'm Robin Meade. Welcome to Morning Express. Did I say Express? In the news today, first before I do that, I am so thirsty. Back to what we were talking about. In the health news today, did you know that disinfectant sprays stop the spread of germs? Oh, I had better clean that up. Why, look right here, we have a little Windex. That is so nice. Whenever Bob starts to smell around here, I just reach for the stain and odor eliminator. Back to you. We'll have more news after this. I can guarantee you that that's only going to go so far for real on the show, and that our legal folks are on every little point about it so that we remain objective. Remember the prostitute at the center of the Elliot Spitzer scandal that led to his resignation? Well, she was about to make a whole hunk of money, but her wild ways stopped that from happening, and here's how we played it on the show. The call girl linked to the former New York governor, Elliot Spitzer, because she's from Jersey, will miss one chance to make $1 million. In other words, Bob's interested because he's from Jersey, too.
No.
The founder of Girls Gone Wild says that he offered Ashley Alexander Dupree that money to appear in a magazine and join the company's bus tour. She was going to cash in, or she could have. But it turns out the company already filmed her in 2003. Now, between you and me, little Bob does a great impression of what he thinks her former neighbors in Jersey are saying about the little girl who's now a prostitute.
I always knew she was a hooer. From the day she was born, she standing there trying to play doctor with my little Billy. She was 5 years old, for crying out loud. I'll tell you right now. Well, I gotta go make the pasta.
Time for the viewer emails from you. The only way I'm going to let Pete do this, because he's too much of a podcast regular, is if he wears a hat. Look at me, I'm wearing the bee thing.
All right.
Come on, wear the hat. We'll be goofy together.
There we go.
Look at you, Captain and Tennille. What do our viewers have to say?
This one comes from Mike in Snellville, Georgia, home of my wife. I have a question for you about the podcast. She watches the podcast regularly. Notice that we have 2 cameramen, and they usually are walking backwards. Has there ever been an accident where someone got hurt?
Yeah, I think just today they ran into some chairs up there. A few people have been mowed over, but no lawsuits or anything.
This one's from Tom in Chicago. With the start of Dancing with the Stars and Robin's past dancing prowess well documented, why didn't she compete?
Wait, come on. These shoes are not made for dancing. Would you look at those?
That's true.
Now singing, I'm all about it. Dancing, I don't know.
This one comes from Elaine in Carrollton, Virginia. She says she likes the more slightly relaxed look of the anchors here at the Morning Express because she says many of the people watching are in their PJs or sweats. It's nice to look classy and comfy.
You know what? I don't know if you noticed this, but we're just now getting Rafer to understand that you don't have to wear a 3-piece suit here. He's just now kind of getting comfortable with the no tie look if he's wearing a jacket, or the no jacket if he's wearing a tie look. Because we're in people's living room, they're half dressed, they got their robes on, and it's all right. I'm glad that she likes it. We are more relaxed. Look at us.
I'm still 1 piece short of my 3-piece suit, so that's good.
Yeah, Captain, thank you so much for asking the questions today.
No problem, B-Girl.
B-Girl's going to say, thank you for everyone for watching the podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the show. Mwah.